What's up YouTube, Zor here coming to you guys with a Smash Ultimate video. Smash Ultimate just released recently and I know some of you guys are new players that are looking to learn how to play. So this is going to be a new series where we focus on beginner tips. Last time we worked on Marth and Young Link, and today we're working on Roy. Alright, so first things off, when you're playing Roy, you really want to use a lot of aerial attacks. The reason being is that with Roy's dash attack, there's a lot of delay on it. So you can see it takes a while for the slash to occur, and then after the slash is completed, it takes a while for Roy to recover and do another move. So watch, if I do jab and shield, happens pretty quick. If I do a dash and then shield, look how much longer that takes. So it takes about a second after hitting the dash attack before you can do something again. So this can set you up. If you miss the dash attack, you could be super vulnerable. So in order to avoid that, you want to do low aerial attacks. So you're going to need to know how to do what's called short hopping, which is what I'm doing here. Just these little hops so you can hit aerial attacks at pretty much the same height as if you were just on the low ground. So in order to do that, the easiest way I can kind of explain it is you want to press your jump key, and then immediately after you're going to press your A button to attack. So you can practice by just kind of doing some light taps onto your Joy-Con, and that's going to give you those light hops. And if you want to get even more consistent, learning how to hit your A button right after can also help increase the consistency of the short hops. So give this a try, and once you get that down, it's going to be one of the biggest steps on figuring out how to play Roy. Alright, so let's go over some moves that you can do with Roy. So since the dash attack is so slow, one thing you can do if you want to dash at an enemy and attack is to use the side B. So this is running up an enemy and then side B at him right away. So the side B has 4 different attacks, or 4 different combos I should say, and you'll be able to hit all 4 of them if you land the first one. So running at the enemy and then pressing B about 4 times to get about 19% of damage, which is pretty good. So the reason for using the side B again is because the dash attack has a lot of delay, and you want to avoid that, so the side B attack comes off pretty quick. So one of Roy's best moves is the neutral air. So this is jumping up in the air and just pressing A. So you want to get really good at doing that while running. So I would practice running around and then immediately letting go when you want to jump, and then pressing A right after. So once you get that down, what you can do first for a combo is running up an enemy, doing that first neutral air, and following it up with another one. So one and 2. That's going to get you about 27.5% of damage. Another thing you can do is same thing, neutral air into a forward tilt. So that's going to be tilting your controller slightly like this and then pressing A. So there's a lot you can do if you manage to get a player off the stage with this 1-2 combo. So afterwards though, it does require you to kind of predict what the enemy's going to do. So here I predicted that Ike was going to do a jump after I did the 1-2 combo. So then I did forward air, neutral air, and then gave myself enough time to up B back onto the stage. So while we're on the topic, we can talk about Roy's up B. So it's actually really good for recovering off the stage. So if you're kind of low on the ground, you can use it to go directly up and grab onto the ledge, or maybe if you're kind of far off, you can kind of give it a direction. So that time it went a little more towards the right there. So that just requires you to kind of tilt your controller a little bit more to the left or right rather than directly up. You can also use this up B to do some combos with. So earlier we did a neutral air into a forward tilt, which did pretty good damage, about 29.7, but you can actually do more with the up B to follow up with it. So I'll show you right here, neutral air and followed up by an up B. That time it did 32.9%, me try to do it again. I had some better damage earlier. There we go. So 34.9% seems to be the highest amount of damage that you can do with this. So this seems to be the most amount you can do with a 1-2 combo that I was able to find. So the only problem with this is that after you do such a combo, you don't really have much more to work with afterwards. So you don't really have anything else to follow up with it. And Roy's going to be kind of immobile, or he can't do any follow-up attacks afterwards. So you want to make sure that when you do this combo, that you kind of go somewhere else and kind of roll yourself away to prevent the enemy from hitting you back. So one more thing you can do with Roy's up B is turn defense into attack. So what I did here is, if the enemy was to run at me, so let's say we're kind of neck and neck, I could come in at me, I can shield, hold it, and then press up B, and it immediately triggers. So this is really good for turning defense, so you're going to block the attack with your shield and then just follow up immediately with the up B to hit about 20% of damage, which is pretty good. So, and you can catch enemies off guard because they don't expect you to go on the offensive like that. So just another thing to keep in mind for using Roy's up B. So the next few combos are going to involve Roy's jab. So this is just pressing A without anything else. And this is pretty good for sending enemies airborne and giving yourself room for a combo. So one of the first combos we can do, so this one's kind of going to be weak, but you could do 2 jabs, but then it knocks the character far away that the second jab doesn't do much damage. So the other thing you can do is a jab and forward tilt. So kind of similar combo to what we had earlier with the neutral air and then forward tilt. Same concept. Another follow-up that can do a little bit more damage still is doing the forward tilt and then doing the side Bs that we did earlier. So that time we did about 27% of damage, which is really good for a 1-2 combo. So lastly, we're going to go over some grab combos. So with Roy, you're really only going to be using his down throw, as it's the only one that sets him up for some combos. So one thing you can do is throw him down and do a forward tilt. You can also throw him down and do an up tilt, or you can throw him down and do an up smash afterwards. And after that, they're kind of in the air for a good amount of time. You can kind of use your up air to try to keep him up there and prevent him from getting back onto the ground of the stage. So this one seems to be the best one to kind of set you up for this combo, and then kind of try to keep him up in the air as much as possible and deal as much damage as you can. That's all I have for this video. Again, if this helped you out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below what character you want me to review next. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.